Well, hi everybody. Good morning. It is 4:30 in the morning. I made it to Kansas. I've got my little bed made here. I'm currently sitting in a local Walmart parking lot waiting for the doors to open at 7 so I can go buy my second tag. I got an email from Kansas that they are opening non-resident tags and 4 days left of season. I decided to do it. So I drove 6 hours and I am sitting here at this Walmart waiting to get my tag, and hopefully tomorrow I can find a property with some birds. Now, I looked at the regulations, and the reason I only bought the one tag is because typically in Kansas you can buy 2 tags and you can hunt all over the state. Well, they changed the regulations this year. We like to hunt eastern and northeastern part of the state, and this time the second tag had to be used in Unit 1 and 2, which is north central and northwest Kansas. That's a long jaunt for me coming from Iowa, so I really didn't want to do that, and that's the reason I only stuck with buying the one tag. But now that they opened non-resident sales, I'm like, you know what? I really want to keep turkey hunting, so I made the drive. I'm sitting here at the Walmart, gonna buy my tag in the morning, gonna drive around, hopefully get a property lined up. This is Rio country. I have not shot a Rio yet, so I'm hoping that tomorrow I can get birds found, and I've got this weekend to pull it off, basically. Season ends Sunday, so I'm going to still grind it out and see what I can do. We'll see you in the morning. Bam! Let's do this. I finally found a group of turkeys. There's probably 8 hens, 5 jakes, and 1 lone tom. And I'm in some of the craziest terrain I've ever turkey hunted. Well, I guess unless you count western Nebraska, but... Alright. Well, it's windy. Hopefully you can hear this. I have got all my gear. Got the DSD strutter, DSD breeder hen, my fan, and my bow. I've got a long hike and I'm already winded because I'm out of shape. But my plan is to climb to the top of that, circle around behind, there to the north of it. The tom is acting real skittish, probably because there's 5 or 6 jakes dogging him, harassing him, but there's also a group of hens with him too. So hopefully I can get set up above him and call him up to me. That's the plan anyway, if I don't die of a heart attack first. Okay, I really like this open flat up on this hilltop. You see a long ways. I think right now below me here, if they didn't get up here already. This is a good blind, and they can see me pretty much anywhere up on here. I think on either side of me, so I'm gonna just slip up with all my gear off, peek over the edge and see if they're still below me, see what direction they're moving. I'm in a good cutoff position right now, so now it's time to slow everything down, let the birds work to me. I want to go with my gut, but I don't have a lot of patience, so I don't know if that's going to work out for me. Anyway, my plan is to go back to that cedar that I liked. It's got a good vantage point. I really think they're down below me. When I get on that call, they'll be able to hear me over the edge, come up and investigate, see that tom. Hopefully it doesn't spook that tom off. Looks like he's been harassed. Oh, damn. Whew. Got a little jumpy there. I'm used to rattlesnakes out in western Nebraska. Oh boy. I don't know what to think. I know I just saw the turkeys. I know they're right in this area, but they could go any direction. I never see them. I just sit here for hours. Alright, so when I set up blinds like this, I want to stick the decoy out where it's going to be able to see and be seen by anything coming up on this flat. So just looking at this, I don't want anything behind this branch coming and hearing the call, not seeing anything and turning and leaving. I still think they're straight right over the hill here, just tucked up in the trees, getting out of this wind. I think they'll eventually come up here. It looks like this was a burn area, fresh green grass growing. So anything coming up from that way will see me. Anything coming up from that way will see me. I'm gonna be pretty much 180 degrees. If they come up on this top, they should see the decoy. My worry is that they're gonna skirt that bull that I just looked at. And I've only got one tom I'm working with, so it's not like a high odds opportunity here, but it's an opportunity. I better shut up and get set up. All right, so plans have changed. I found them. Just like I thought, they're clear at the bottom of the hill. They're underneath the bush right now. I did not see the tom. I know there's several jakes, at least 5 or 6. The tom could be just right there, but I can see them running around this bush playing, and they're just tucked out of the wind. So I also noticed that there is a ditch that runs right behind them. So what I'm thinking about doing is packing all my stuff up and taking that ditch all the way down to them, popping the strutter up, see if that tom will commit, and basically do kind of a Reaper style hunt. I don't know, we'll just kind of see when we get down there, but at least I know where they're at, so. Well, that was weird. I'm gonna keep using this drainage, try to get closer, see if I can't get a shot off. They're not wanting to commit. It's like they're already in their bastard group. Crazy. Let's push the envelope, get closer.
5 yards right now. Yeah, I'm about as close as I can get, I think. This wind might help me move a little closer if I wanted to, because I'd have to backtrack from what I just did, and I don't really want to do that, so maybe just wait them out and see what happens. Smoked him. Well, that's not what I expected. I really thought I'd pop over with that decoy and they'd come charging in and I'd get another ream down. Man, they made me work for that one. Goodness. So what I did was kicked it back to our old college days when we couldn't decoy them and they weren't wanting to come to calls. We stalked them. And it is like 20 miles per hour. And he was right at 92 yards. Yes, that is a long shot. But that bird, it looked like he smoked him. So I'm going to just take my time, let these guys feed off a little bit. I'm hoping he didn't fly. Woo! Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. That was not fun. That was a lot of work. A lot of crawling. Getting fat in my old age. Crawling is just not working for me. Yes! Alright, so I'm about to the scene of the crime. I was going really slow. Sometimes if they're pretty injured, they'll lay down. Sometimes you can get a second shot and finish them off, but I had sat there for probably 30 minutes and I see all these vultures. I don't know if you can see them on film, but they're dipping low and circling really low on top of this hill. And as I got close to the top of the hill, I can see what they see. Look at that. Feathers blowing in the wind. We got him. Well, just when I thought turkey season was over, I get an email from Kansas saying that they opened non-resident tags again, and I still had a second tag to buy. I looked at Allie, and without even saying a word, she knew where I was headed. So got the pickup packed about 15 minutes, headed west. Rolled in about 2:30 last night, got everything situated, finally went to bed around 4, and then got up and got permission on this property. And there's a huge butte surrounded by all this timber. I was on top. It was burned off recently, a lot of green, nice green grass growing. I figured that's where they'd be out of this wind. Peeked over the butte and there they are underneath a little cedar tree. So I slipped around the butte, came down this little draw. They didn't want to do anything with the decoy, turned and went the other way, so I cut them off, used the terrain to my advantage, got within, I think it was right under 100 yards, and this guy stepped out at 92 and I let it fly. Even with the wind, I held just a little bit and it center punched him. He went 60 yards and was down. So super blessed. Did not think this bird was going to happen. Heck, I didn't think any of the birds that I was able to tag this year was going to happen. With all the COVID talk, you know, I quickly bought a Kansas tag early. As soon as I did, they closed sales. I missed my opportunity to go back home to Nebraska. Didn't get my tag early enough. They closed sales. So I was really pessimistic about the season. Wasn't looking forward to it at all, really. But you know what? We decided to stick it out. I killed my first tom in Iowa, then met up with Justin. We made our annual trip even though he didn't have a tag for Kansas. Killed one in the snow. We jumped across the border. That afternoon, Justin killed his bird, and then I took him back to Iowa, and he helped me fill my second Iowa bird, and pretty much thought that was the end of season. Well, I heard that Missouri was still letting the non-residents purchase tags, so I bit the bullet, did that, and got a hard lesson in Missouri hunting. Just not a lot of birds in that northern part of Missouri, but I grinded it out, and perseverance finally paid off. I was able to self-film and reap my very first bird there in Missouri. So what a challenge that hunt was. But it wasn't until yesterday, like I said, got that email, and I'm like, you know what, I love turkey hunting so much, I've got to just go. And luckily I have a fiance that's very understanding, very supportive. Just want to thank her for that. And this is my bird, my last bird for 2020.